Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm sharing a story that might hit close to home for some of you. It's about David and Emma, a couple who thought they had it all figured out until 3 simple lines on a piece of paper changed everything forever. It was a Tuesday evening in our Charlotte suburb, the kind where cicadas hum their summer song and porch lights create golden pools against the dusk. I had just returned from work, managing a small IT department at a local tech company. Nothing glamorous, steady paycheck, predictable challenges. The hallway carried the scent of Emma's vanilla candles. She always overdid the fragrances as if trying to mask something unspoken. Loosening my tie, I noticed her sitting at the kitchen counter, face buried in her phone. Again. Over the past month, this had become her second profession. A week earlier we'd gone grocery shopping at Target. Just another Saturday routine. I was pushing the cart through the cereal aisle, tossing in our usual brands. Emma trailed behind, fingers flying across her screen. I grabbed her favorite granola, holding it up with a smile. "This the one you like, right?" She glanced up, and her expression twisted like I'd offered her something rotten. "David, can you please not block the entire aisle?" she snapped, loud enough for an elderly couple nearby to turn and stare. Her voice cut through the air like broken glass. "You're always in the way." I raised an eyebrow, keeping my tone light but pointed. "In the way? I'm pushing the cart you haven't touched once." She rolled her eyes dramatically. "Just move it along, okay? I don't have all day." The elderly couple exchanged uncomfortable glances. I smirked, tossing the granola into the cart with perhaps a bit more force than necessary. "Sure thing, boss. Wouldn't want to interrupt your texting marathon." Emma huffed and stormed toward the produce section. I followed, jaw clenched tight. A public scolding over a shopping cart. Real classy. I didn't say anything else, but I filed it away. Strike one. 3 nights later we sat across from each other at our dining table, a rare occurrence lately. I'd grilled some chicken, nothing fancy, just trying to maintain some semblance of normalcy. Emma poked at her plate while her phone buzzed insistently beside her. I attempted conversation, keeping it light. "How's that rebranding project going? The one for the fitness startup?" She didn't look up, just shrugged. "Fine." Her voice was flat, like I was a coworker she barely tolerated. The phone lit up and she grabbed it instantly, her face transforming as she read the message. A genuine smile broke across her features, the first I'd seen in weeks. She typed back quickly, laughing softly. I leaned back, watching this transformation with growing unease. "Something amusing?" She glanced up, the smile vanishing instantly. "Just Sarah from work. Business stuff." "Business stuff," I repeated slowly, nodding. "Must be some really entertaining quarterly reports." Her eyes narrowed, but before she could respond, another message arrived. She snatched the phone again, completely absorbed in whatever conversation was apparently more interesting than the man sitting 3 feet away. I took a bite of chicken, chewing thoughtfully. "Laughing with Sarah, but I get one-word answers." Message received. Later that night, I lay in bed trying to sleep while Emma sat propped against the headboard, phone glowing in the darkness. Through half-closed eyes, I caught a glimpse of her screen, a chat thread with some guy's name I didn't recognize. She quickly angled the phone away when she noticed me stirring. I didn't say anything, just closed my eyes. Hiding screens now. Strike 2. Then came that Wednesday night that changed everything. I turned off the bedroom light, settling into bed after a long day debugging code and managing client expectations. Emma was already lying there, turned toward the wall, her body rigid with tension. I slid under the covers carefully, not wanting to disturb whatever mood she was nursing, and let out a normal, tired breath. "David, could you please not breathe on my neck when I'm trying to sleep?" Her voice cut through the darkness, cold and sharp as winter air. "Some of us actually need rest." I froze, my jaw tightening involuntarily. "My breathing is the problem now?" "Don't be so dramatic," she sighed with that patronizing tone she'd perfected lately. "I just want to sleep without feeling crowded." "Is that unreasonable?" I let out a short laugh, more disbelief than humor. "Crowded? That's rich, considering you used to fall asleep on my shoulder every night for 3 years. Did that warranty expire?" Silence. Heavy, deliberate silence that felt like a wall being built between us. She didn't answer and I didn't push. I rolled onto my side, facing away from her, mind racing. Picking fights over breathing. What's next? Blinking too loudly? Everything that used to be us. her head on my chest, late-night conversations about terrible movies, her stealing my hoodies, had somehow transformed into a catalog of grievances. My breathing, my presence, my very existence seemed to offend her now. Morning arrived like a badly rehearsed play. No good morning, no coffee made for two. Emma moved through the kitchen like a tornado, plates clattering against granite, toast popping up with unnecessary violence. She navigated around me as if I were invisible furniture. I leaned against the refrigerator with my black coffee, watching her performance. Do you even remember who you're sharing this house with anymore? She didn't look up from her avocado toast, spreading it with surgical precision. Oh, I remember perfectly. Too perfectly, actually. I smirked, unfazed by her venom. Good to know. I'll make sure to stay out of your spotlight then. She froze mid-spread, knife hovering over bread, then resumed with aggressive strokes. Maybe if you weren't so suffocating, I wouldn't need so much space. I set my mug down with deliberate control. Suffocating? Interesting. Here I thought paying the mortgage, maintaining the car, and keeping the lights on was called contributing. My mistake. Her eyes flicked up, narrowing dangerously. Don't start with that. You know what I mean. Do I? I crossed my arms, voice steady but edged with steel. Spell it out for me, Em. What exactly is my crime here? Existing too loudly? She slammed the knife down with enough force to make me jump. You're always there, David. Always hovering, always taking up space. I just need some peace. I nodded slowly, letting her words sink in. Peace. Got it. I'll make sure my shadow doesn't disturb you either. I grabbed my keys and headed for the door, leaving her with her toast and her attitude. If she wanted space, she was about to get more than she bargained for. That started our Cold War. I began staying late at the office, diving deep into server maintenance and client projects that suddenly seemed more appealing than going home. Emma started disappearing before dawn. Her car was gone by 6 a.m. most mornings. Our phones went silent except for the occasional picked-up groceries, or nothing at all. Dinners became solo affairs. She ate at the counter with her phone for company while I grabbed burgers at the local diner. Our bed transformed into a no-man's land, each of us clinging to our respective edges like we were afraid of contamination. We'd met 7 years ago at a mutual friend's barbecue in Asheville. Emma had been pure sunshine then, auburn hair catching the light, laughter infectious enough to turn heads across the yard. She'd teased me about taking volleyball too seriously, and I'd fired back about her hoarding all the potato salad. We'd clicked instantly, like puzzle pieces that had been searching for each other. Those early dates at hole-in-the-wall restaurants, her dragging me to art galleries, me teaching her to change a tire in her work clothes. I'd proposed at the botanical gardens, just the two of us, a picnic blanket and sandwiches from our favorite deli. She'd said yes before I even got the ring box open. We'd bought this house together, built a life brick by brick. I'd grown my department from 3 people to 12. She'd climbed the marketing ladder, always networking, always strategizing. We'd been partners until suddenly we weren't. 2 weeks into our silent standoff, I was hunting for phone charger in the bathroom. Mine had died, and asking her felt like admitting defeat. Digging through her makeup drawer, my fingers found a folded piece of paper tucked beneath tubes of mascara and lip gloss. Curiosity won over privacy. I unfolded it carefully, and there in her neat handwriting were 3 lines that felt like a punch to the gut. Goals before New Year. 1. Wake up alone. 2. Find myself again. 3. Live in quiet. No hearts, no doodles, no decorations. Just 3 clinical statements like a business plan for erasing me from existence. I stared at those words, pulse surprisingly steady while my mind raced. So I'm the obstacle to her enlightenment. How thoughtful of her to document it. I didn't crumple the paper or storm out dramatically. I folded it back exactly as I'd found it, tucked it under her cosmetics, and walked to the living room with newfound clarity. I sat on our couch, my couch now technically, watching her move around the kitchen. She was on her phone again, voice dropping to that conspiratorial whisper I'd been hearing more often lately. "Oh stop, you're terrible," she giggled, twirling her hair around her finger like a teenager. "You can't say things like that." 10 feet away from me, and she might as well have been on another planet. Flirting with someone else while I sat right there? Bold move. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I just observed, cataloging the way her voice changed, How animated she became for this mystery person while I got nothing but cold shoulders and complaints about my breathing. She wants to live without me? Fine. Let's see how she likes it starting right now. That evening, I went to my home office and began pulling documents. House deed, car title, business contracts, everything in my name from before we met. By midnight, I had a folder ready. Legal papers, financials, everything airtight and unassailable. She wanted her list? I give it to her. The next morning, I started packing. Not dramatically, no slamming drawers or throwing clothes around. I methodically removed my toiletries from the bathroom, leaving her side untouched. I took my spare keys from the kitchen hook, slipping them into my pocket with quiet finality. Emma walked in with her coffee mug and froze mid-sip. "What are you doing?" I kept folding a shirt into my bag, voice calm as still water. "Granting your wish. You want to wake up alone? I'm making it happen." Her eyes widened, mug trembling slightly in her grip. "David, stop this. You're being ridiculous." I zipped the bag closed and met her gaze directly. "Ridiculous? No, I'm following your plan. You wrote it down, I'm executing it." She stepped closer, panic creeping into her voice. It wasn't like that. It was just a stupid note." I shouldered the bag, offering her a cold smile. "Stupid note? Looked pretty intentional to me. Don't worry, I'll be out of your space by tonight." Her face went pale, mouth opening and closing like a fish gasping for air. I walked past her, leaving the legal folder on the dining table with a sticky note. Wish number 1, complete. The door closed behind me with a soft click that felt like an ending. That night, from my hotel room, my phone buzzed with her messages. The first one, "You're really doing this?" I typed back quickly, "Not breathing down your neck anymore. Check your list." She didn't reply, but the call started. First, they were petty attempts to maintain connection. "Where's my phone charger?" she asked one evening, voice tight with forced casualness. "Junk drawer," I replied, reviewing client proposals. "Same place it's been for 2 years. Boss, have you seen my silver earrings?" "Nope. Maybe they're with your sense of humor." She hung up. I smiled and kept working. A few days later, she left a voicemail, voice shaky and desperate. "David, I think you misunderstood everything. It wasn't meant to be literal. Can we just talk? This can't be how 7 years ends." I listened twice, jaw tight with resolve. "Not literal?" Funny how clearly it was written. I sent her scanned copies of the papers with a simple text. "Here's how it starts." She showed up at my office parking lot one afternoon, leaning against my car in a sundress, arms crossed, face mixing defiance with nervousness that I recognized from our early dating days. "David, come on," she said, voice softer now, almost pleading. "We can fix this. We're good together." I unlocked the car without breaking eye contact. "Fix what? Your list didn't mention fixing anything. Just leaving." Her mouth opened, then closed. "I didn't mean it that way. I was just frustrated." I raised an eyebrow. "Frustrated enough to plan a life without me? That's some serious frustration." She stepped closer, searching my eyes for the man who used to melt at her smile. "I miss you, David. Can't we go back?" I laughed, short and sharp as broken glass. "Back to what? Your cold shoulders? Kitchen tantrums? Or the part where I'm furniture you complain about?" I opened the car door. "You wanted to find yourself. Start looking." I drove away, watching her shrink in my rearview mirror until she was just another small figure on an empty lot. 3 months later, I ran into her at our old coffee shop downtown. She sat alone at a corner table, phone untouched for once, looking smaller somehow. When she saw me, her face crumbled. "David," she whispered, "I destroyed everything good. I didn't realize what I had until it was gone." I stirred my coffee, expression neutral as Switzerland. "You didn't lose me, Emma. You crossed me out. I just signed the paperwork." Her eyes filled with tears that once would have broken my resolve. "I'm sorry. Can we try again? Please?" I took a sip, letting silence stretch between us like a chasm. "You used to be my priority. Now you're not on any list at all." I walked out, the door chime marking my exit from that chapter of my life. 6 months later, I'm living in a new rhythm. My department landed a major contract with a fintech startup. I'm hiking again on weekends, something Emma always mocked as pointless wandering. The house is mine now, mortgage and all. No vanilla candles, just coffee brewing at dawn and silence that feels like peace instead of punishment. My friend Jake and I grab wings every Friday, and my sister keeps suggesting I try dating again. I'm not rushing into anything. Anna mentioned that Emma moved to Denver, chasing some senior marketing position. Apparently, she's still finding herself. I don't care enough to ask for details. My phone stays quiet, my mornings are calm, and I sleep through the night without worrying about breathing too loudly. She wanted her list fulfilled. I delivered exactly what she ordered. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let someone go, especially when they've already written you out of their story. Fair trade as it turns out. And that's David's story. 6 months later, he's building a new life while Emma searches for herself in a different city. Sometimes we don't realize what we have until we've already thrown it away. What do you think? Did David do the right thing, or should he have fought harder for their marriage? Let me know in the comments below. I always love hearing your thoughts on these stories. If this story resonated with you, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. We share new stories every week about real people navigating life's most challenging moments. And remember, words have power. Lists have consequences. And sometimes, the most dangerous thing you can do is put your true feelings down on paper where someone else might find them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.